Hello, this is Group 3's presentation on the public and social benefits subsector. Our team members comprise of Jenica Charles, Isabel Andre, Samantha Garcia, and Angel Avila. What is the public and societal benefits subsector? This subsector is one of the major nonprofit subsectors, including advocacy, civil rights, community improvement, and philanthropy. This type of subsector focuses on benefiting society as a whole. It is often policy and system oriented, and unlike human services, these organizations focus on systemic change rather than direct service deliveries. Civil rights plays a large part in this subsector, especially civil rights nonprofits. These types of nonprofits focus on protecting civil liberties as well as equal rights. They work to reduce discrimination and inequality, advocating for marginalized communities. These nonprofits focus on advocacy, legal, and grassroots organization. The majority of their revenue comes from individual donations, foundation grants, government grants, membership dues, and even fundraising. Some historical context for these civil rights nonprofits starts in the 1900s. Advocacy nonprofits have existed since the early 1900s, often emerging from reform movements addressing racial injustice, labor exploitation, and women's suffrage. This leads us on into the post-civil rights era. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s marked a huge turning point. Nonprofits combined legal strategy, community organizing, and public protest to challenge segregation and disenfranchisement. This leads us on into the 1970s and even now. The 1970s and beyond saw a rise of disability rights, women's rights, LGBTQ rights, and immigrant rights organizations. Today, civil rights nonprofits operate in highly polarized political environments and focus on systemic inequality, voting rights, criminal justice reform, and even protection of democratic institutions.
As for the size and scope of the sector, within the public and societal benefit subsector, civil rights organizations alone make up over 16,000 nonprofits nationwide and generate billions in annual revenue. To be a little more specific, 16,500 civil rights and societal justice nonprofits exist, over 390,000 employees. They make over $12 billion in annual revenue, and there's over $23 billion in assets. Some challenges we face are political polarization. Civil rights organizations can become controversial. Shifts in political leadership or public opinion can directly affect their funding. This leads to funding instability. Organizations rely heavily on foundation grants and individual donations, which can fluctuate at times, given circumstances. This also could have bad staff mental health. They often burn out or face emotional strain. Their work can be considered intense at times, especially when dealing with discrimination, injustice, and high conflict environments. In some cases, organizations may also face public criticism or security concerns. And the final challenge are legal limits and policy changes. Civil rights nonprofits also follow strict IRS regulations. They cannot endorse political candidates, must limit their lobbying, etc. So their work is highly affected by rapid legal and policy changes, court decisions, new legislation, or executive actions, which can quickly change the environment in which they operate, forcing organizations to have to adopt very quickly, which can be very stressful at times. Unique factors of the public and societal benefit subsector are structural features. They are advocacy-centered. They engage in activities like drafting policy recommendations, meeting legislators, filing lawsuits, mobilizing voters, and focus on systematic changes, which this could just be me nerding out, but that is really cool. And some operational challenges, as mentioned before, is political polarization as well as lobbying restrictions. Types of civil rights organizations and who they serve. Types of organizations. There are legal advocacy groups, grassroots and organizing groups, research and policy institutes and voter education and civic engagement organizations, and lastly, coalitions and national networks, who they serve. That could be racial and ethnic minorities, LGBTQ plus communities, women and gender minorities, immigrants, people with disabilities. If you're not picking up on this, it could be literally everyone. Me, you, your mom, your dad, your grandma, literally anybody. Civil rights organizations fight to protect all of our rights that we are all entitled to.
The positive impacts of the civil rights subsector includes protecting constitutional and civil rights, advocating for marginalized communities, promoting equal access to opportunities, strengthening democratic participation, and encouraging community empowerment. The community level benefits of the civil rights subsector include providing educational resources and leadership development, offering legal assistance and policy guidance, supporting skill building and civic education, mobilizing communities for collective action, and promoting long-term systemic change. An example of a civil rights subsector organization is the NAACP. The NAACP was founded in 1909, and its mission was to secure political, educational, social, and economic equality amongst African Americans in the United States. Its focus was on constitutional civil rights protection, and they engaged in litigation, advocacy, and community mobilization. They stand out because they played a key role in landmark civil rights cases. They influenced major legislative reforms, combining legal strategy with community organizing. They had a long-standing national presence with local chapters, and they continue to advocate in modern civil rights issues today. The public and societal benefits subsector focuses on systemic change. Civil rights organizations play a central role within it, and these nonprofits protect constitutional rights and promote equity. They strengthen democracy and empower community. Their work remains essential in today's evolving landscape.